Hello guys, I am a duck and I'll be teaching you guys how to do correlation coefficient and trend lines on Excel and Google Sheets. Once you guys understand this, it's very simple. You guys will never have problems with it ever again and never return to this video. So the first thing you need to know is that while you can't do correlation coefficient or trend lines with just one variable, you need two variables. So it doesn't make sense to say, how does coffee affect coffee? It makes much more sense to say, how does coffee affect sleep, right? So right here, let's say I want to know if duck's speed has a relationship with duck's sleep. So does the amount of sleep I get affect my speed during the day? Well, who knows? Let's find out as a duck. So you want to highlight everything. Remember to highlight your variables as well, because this will become your X and Y axis in your chart. So then you press Insert Chart. You should get a scatter plot, okay? If you guys did not get a scatter plot, well, go to Chart Editor, click Setup, then find Scatter Plot, okay? If your chart editor is not open, just double click on the chart. It should pop up, click Setup, Scatter Plot. Now once you get your scatter plot, without putting in the trend lines or your correlation coefficient, you can actually tell if they have a relationship and how good is that relationship by guessing. So all you need to do is look at your points, okay? How closely do they resemble a line? The closer that it looks like a line, the better. If they don't look like a line, then they probably don't have a good relationship. So right here, let's look at my points. Actually, it actually turned out pretty well than I was expecting. But yeah, it looks like they do have a line. So from this point all the way over here, we can make our imaginary line. Boom. Looks really good actually. So yeah, it does look like a really good line. Sure, it's not a perfect line, but that's actually really good. But anyways, we don't want to do this by guessing. We want to actually find out. So let's insert our trend line. You click Customize, go to Series, scroll down, click Trend Line. Now, once you guys have your trend line, actually, that was pretty good. I kind of drew it. My imaginary line was actually pretty close. But yeah, to see if they have a correlation between the two variables, your points should be near the trend line or on top of the trend line. So right here, you guys can see a lot of my points are near it or on top of the trend line, which is really good for us. Now we're gonna look at the correlation coefficient to double check our assumption. Well, not really, we already found out. But yeah, so you're gonna do Enter, then click Correl, basically a short way to say correlation. Press Enter. Then you're gonna highlight one of your columns, then comma, then highlight your second column, then press Enter. Now we got 0.99. By the way, guys, it does not matter which column you highlight first. So let's go back, Correl. If I highlight the second column, comma, highlight the second column, Enter, still the exact same number. This formula checks the relationship between the two variables. It does not matter the order that you highlight them in. So just remember, it doesn't matter the order. You can highlight the first or the second first. It will give you the same exact answer. But anyways, so what does this number tell us? We got 0.99. What does that mean? So I'm gonna quickly tell you what your correlation coefficient means. So it's two things. Is it a positive or negative, okay? So the first thing is positive or negative, okay? So let's say it's a positive number. Well, that means it's a positive relationship. If it's a negative number, pretty obvious, negative relationship, right? Now the second thing you need to know is it near 1 or negative 1? Well, if it is, it's a strong relationship. If it's near 0.5 or negative 0.5, then that's a moderate relationship. If it's near 0, well, near 0, sorry guys, near 0, then that's a weak relationship. That's the two things you need to know, positive or negative, and what number is it near, okay? So for example, our number, right, what does that mean? Well, by looking at our thing right here, our beautiful thing, it's a positive, so we're gonna put positive, strong relationship. And that's all to it. So you guys can make a statement out of this. According to our correlation coefficient, 0.996, we have a positive, strong relationship between speed and sleep. So what does this exactly tell us, okay? Well, what does positive and negative mean, okay? We know that strong relationship means that they do correlate, right? It means that they correlate well. That means that sleep has an impact on speed or vice versa, right? But what does positive, negative mean exactly? Well, if it's positive, that means that if one of the variable, one variable goes up, other one goes up as well, okay? So if my sleep is going up, then my speed is going up. If my speed is going up, my sleep is going up. They both increase. Now let's say it's a negative, okay? Well, if one variable goes up, other one goes down, okay? This is the opposite. So if my speed is going up as a duck, then I'm losing sleep. But if my sleep is going up as a duck, then I'm losing speed, okay? If one of them goes up, the other one goes down. So that's what positive and negative means. So let's do a few examples, right? Let's say the number I have is negative 0.1. Well, let's look at our thing. That's a negative, then it's near 0, okay? It's closer to 0, so that's a negative weak relationship. Well, negative weak relationship means, well, it doesn't correlate that well, okay? My speed and my sleep has almost no influence on each other, if any, okay? They have barely any influence, okay? But let's say I have like a 0.6, right? We have a positive, moderate relationship. Well, what does that tell us? Well, they do have some influence on each other, maybe not super strong, but they have some influence right there. So that's all you need to know actually for correlation, coefficient, and trend lines. Hopefully this has helped you guys out. If it did, remember to leave that like, do subscribe for more duck content, and share with a friend that needs help with correlation, coefficient, or trend lines so they would never have problems with this ever again. But remember guys, I am a duck and I am out.